Let's talk all things music now. Carla Strauss is a 23-year-old singer and songwriter from Pretoria. She made her debut at the age of 16 with the release of a single, Midnight Train. Although she started, taking singing lessons at 8, it was only after undergoing vocal rehabilitation at 14 when she had to relearn how to speak and sing, and that she truly understood how her vocal cords worked and how to utilize them to their full potential. Well, she joins us now this morning to speak about a new single, Pulling Teeth. Carla, very good morning. Thanks for joining us. Welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Good to have you. Good to have you on the show this morning. Let's talk about your background. I did mention that you started singing at the age of 16 and you started, taking vocal lessons. Let's talk about how that went and, why you saw the need to go for vocal training.
So when I was a child, I just sang everything. I didn't care what it was. And then eventually my parents thought, maybe we should take her to get some lessons,
Yeah.
be a bit better. And I loved it. There's nothing else I'd rather do than sing. And make music. It's the best thing ever.
Yeah.
So that's why I decided to make it a career. Because, if you have a passion for something, make it your job.
When did you start, taking seriously and making it a career out of it?
I think it was about around 16 when I released my first single. Then I knew for sure, this is it, nothing else.
And I see it's been a very, fulfilling journey for you, and you're also part of a band called One Voice, and then you decided to pull out and just venture on your own. Just take us through that journey.
So, I was in the group One Voice. We were 4 girls from Pretoria. But during COVID, unfortunately, like most things, we had to scale down because there were no performances, nothing. And then we all just decided, let's rather just focus on ourselves and what we want to do. And then maybe if something happens, we can get back together. But I doubt it a bit, yeah.
Now, in the period of self-introspection, what is it that you discovered about your own self and about your own artistic capabilities?
I discovered that I can do a lot more than I think.
On your own, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I feel like when you're in a group, obviously you have to listen to what other people want and you have to fit together. But when you're on your own, you can do whatever, and it's lovely because I'm very impulsive.
Oh, yeah?
So I like doing what I want.
Okay.
Not always the best, but it's great.
And speaking of being impulsive and doing whatever you want to do, did you decide to, chart out your own genre, or you just decided to continue from where you left off as a band?
So I've got a very niche genre. I don't even know what it is.
Okay.
Basically,
so it's totally different from the band?
It's totally different.
Okay.
So basically, when I make music, I just try to listen what sounds good together. So then I get very weird stuff.
Right.
Like my one track has frog noises on it, for example.
Oh wow, that's different. That's unique.
Yeah. So it's so I literally just go for what makes me feel something when I make it. So the weirdest sounds together is the best for me.
Yeah. So would you have a description of this particular genre?
I've been trying. I don't know. Especially when I have to upload it to places and they ask me the genre, I just say alternative because that can be anything.
Yeah. Let's talk about your project then. So what's that about?
So I released an EP called Projections.
Projections, yes.
Yes. So it has 5 songs on it, and basically it's all about little diary entries. And that's why I call it projections, because obviously when you're going through a time and you write a diary entry, everything is from your point of view. You don't see other people's perspectives or whatever. So calling it projections makes me feel like I can do what I want and say what I was feeling in that time.
Right.
Without making it seem like I'm oblivious to what's going on around me. That makes sense, yeah.
So it's basically a reflection of your own personal experiences, right?
Yeah, it is.
Is it?
Yeah. That's a great way of saying it.
And you studied music technology, and you say you enjoy the production aspect of the industry. So how has that sort of worked in your favor?
It's worked a lot, eh? Because I know so much about the music industry, and not just the industry, the physical production part of it. It makes me feel like I'm more in control when I make something. So I don't have to just go to someone and say, oh, I like this sound. Can you make it like this and this and this?
Okay.
I can rather do it myself. And then if it's not perfect, I can let someone hear it and they can interpret it in their own way.
Okay.
So it makes me feel like I'm part of the process and I'm not just writing the music, but I'm actually creating it as well.
Right. It's so heartwarming just hearing an artist saying that they understand the industry, because not so not every artist truly understands, in particular, the South African music industry.
Yeah.
So from what you've learned, from what you've observed, from what you've discovered, what is it about the South African music industry that made you change your approach and your perspective about your own role in the industry?
That's a great question. I think it's just the fact that South Africans are very particular. They like something or they don't.
Yeah,
So
actually.
either you can go with what people already like, or you can try something completely different
Sure,
to
sure,
fill that gap and see how many people like it.
sure.
Yeah.
And you have a full-time job, right?
Yes, I have two actually.
Oh, 2 jobs.
2 jobs.
And then how do you juggle everything and your music?
Yeah, I don't sleep.
I can imagine.
I
can
rarely
imagine.
sleep. No. No,
So
but-
you basically, you know, you're very good at time management, I suppose.
Yeah, I am. I have to be. I don't have a choice.
Right.
Like in the
right.
mornings, I do admin, and I'm an office manager, and in the afternoons, I au pair. So it's
So when do you find the time to do your music then?
so
Weekends?
on Fridays.
Okay.
Because I only work until 12,
Uh-huh.
and then on weekends.
Right,
or
right.
During the night time as well.
Right. And now that the EP and single is out, what are you doing to promote it? Are you doing any promotions, any gigs?
So I've got a performance next week at a Champion for Charities. It's a charity boxing event, like white collar boxing. So it's a bunch of people from the plumbing industry that can't box that are going to fight each other for
Oh, okay.
their charity. And I'm performing there. And then as well, I'm doing a lot of social media promotions.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who do you feel responds more positively to your music? Is it the middle-aged folks? Is it the younger ones, teenagers? Who do you appeal to the most?
I think it's more people. I don't think there is an age, because I've seen a lot of different ages listening to my music and enjoying it. I think it's more about people who like to listen to words, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Because the words that I write have a lot of meaning. So I feel like people who like my music generally try to connect themselves to the music. That's what I've experienced, yeah.
And as someone who's also a songwriter, what triggers the lyrical content that comes to your mind?
I wish I knew.
It just pops up.
It just pops up. If I knew, then I would write constantly. But sometimes I just sit somewhere and then something comes and I'm like, I have to now. Can't do anything else. I have to write the whole song now. Yeah.
No, that's good to hear, man. That is so heartwarming. And your plans for the industry?
To be able not to have 2 jobs in the morning. That's my plans.
Okay. Lovely chatting to you, Carla.
Love you.
Thank you so much for joining us here. All right, we just spoke to singer and songwriter Carla Strauss on her 6th single, Pulling Teeth, the first release from her EP Projections.